asked about the newborn. He said, why some children are born Muslims and why some children are born non-Muslims? In fact, every child is born Muslim. Even children who are born to non-Muslim parents, whether they are Christians, Jews, atheists, fire worshippers, whatever, because the Prophet ﷺ said, كل مولود يولد على الفطرة. Every newborn is born on the pure nature. فطرة الله التي فطر الناس عليها. The pure nature, the pure instinct, which would lead people to recognize that there has to be a creator, and the creator has to be one, and he is the same one who is the sustainer, who is the provider, and accordingly we should turn to him with worship, with obedience, with seeking help only from him through invocations and so on. So if the pure nature meets a message from the prophets, a revelation such as the Quran or the previous sound revelations before alteration, then the person will be on the straight path. The Prophet ﷺ said furthermore, فَأَبَوَاهُ يُهَوِّدَانِهِ أَوْ يُنَصِّرَانِهِ أَوْ يُمَجِّسَانِهِ. Every child is born in the pure nature, in the form of Tawheed. Pure nature is Islam, full submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's only that his parents who may turn him to become a Jew or a Christian or a fire worshipper, if they are doing so. When we examine the hadith, we will find out that the Prophet ﷺ said, أَوْ يُسْلِمَانِهِ, or make him Muslim, because he's already born Muslim. So every child is born in Islam. To crown this, the Prophet ﷺ said, رُفِعَ الْقَلَمُ عَنْ ثَلَاثٍ. The pen which records the deeds of any of us does not record the deeds of three people. So there are three people who will not be held accountable for what they do, whether permanently or temporarily. Temporarily, such as الصبي حتى يبلغ, the child until he or she reaches the age of puberty. That's why, according to the opinion of the vast majority, those who die before the age of puberty will not be held accountable even for what their parents made them follow. And there are some hadith indicated that the children of the disbelievers who die under age will be in heaven and will not be held accountable. They may be tested on the Day of Judgment, but they will not be held accountable for what their parents have chosen for them. And the second is النائم حتى يستيقظ, and a person who's asleep until he wakes up. So if somebody was asleep and he turns over, he flips over and he kills a child who was lying down next to him, it was not his fault. He did not really mean it because he did not deliberately do it. And the third, that's called accidental killing. And the third is, we said, وَالنَّائِمُ حَتَّى يَسْتَيْقِظْ وَالْمَجْنُونُ حَتَّى يَفِيقْ. And a person who is suffering from absent-mindedness, a person who's absent-minded, a person who's insane, a person who is not wise, does not know what is he saying, what is he doing, so he is not charged for what he or she will do. This is of course the ultimate justice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that people who do not have control or a choice over their deeds will not be held accountable. This is the free will that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala instilled and allowed human beings to enjoy. وَهَدَيْنَاهُ النَّجْدَيْنِ. We've guided him, mankind, and najdain, the two ways, the two paths, the good and the bad. إِنَّا هَدَيْنَاهُ السَّبِيلَ إِمَّا شَاكِرًا وَإِمَّا كَفُورًا. We've guided him to the straight path. Then he chooses either to be grateful or ungrateful. Grateful means a believer recognizes the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and becomes an obedient servant. Or kafuran, disbelieves in the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and accordingly does not pay the due rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So every child is born according to the pure nature in the state of Islam, And there are verses such as in Surah Al-A'raf, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala indicated that He has taken the covenant from all of us since we were in the line of our father Adam alayhi salam. It's verse number 172. You can go back to it, of Surah Al-A'raf. وَإِذْ أَخَذَ رَبُّكَ مِنْ بَنِي آدَمَ مِنْ ظُهُورِهِمْ ذُرِّيَّتَهُمْ وَأَشْهَدَهُمْ عَلَى أَنفُسِهِمْ أَلَسْتُ بِرَبِّكُمْ قَالُوا بَلَى.